You know, I told the team before and after the game, it's a great game that we play, right? It's a blessing to play the game and coach the game. And the best thing about the game is the people that you get to do it with, right? The players, the coaches. We got hundreds of people from a staff perspective that contribute to our team. And, you know, I'm proud to be associated with that group in that locker room, right? Because I get a chance to be with them every day. So, you know, ultimately we didn't do enough to win the game tonight. And, you know, when you're in a leadership position, there's only one answer, right? You got to do better for the people that you're leading. Players, staff, all the people that care and represent this university, right? We got to do a better job. There's lots of things that we can do better. You know, nothing fun about losing, right? And I think the most difficult part when you're in my chair is seeing it in the people that work so hard, right? So, you know, there's going to be a ton of things that we can do to improve. You know, can't compliment. I respect the fight in the group. I respect the competitive spirit. There's many times out there tonight where they could have folded their cards. We fought back in the game. We got it to a one-score game. We did a lot of good things tonight, but ultimately not enough to win the game. So it's my job to position the team to win, to have success. And I can do my job better, right? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And, you know, I'm proud of the players and certainly excited about continuing to work with them. It's a good group. It's the best thing about the game is the people you get to do with it. And I got to do more for our team. What questions we got here?
Yeah, Billy. I hate to sound like a broken record on this every week, but the defense, especially in the key situations, you were saying last week it's fixable. What continues to kind of go awry in those situations, you think?
Well, I think that, you know, what I see is I see opportunity, right? I see a lot of opportunity. And, you know, you got to give a little bit of credit to LSU tonight. You know, the skill players, the quarterback. Certainly, I don't know that we tackled. I don't know if that was one of our better days from a tackling perspective. Individual matchups, you know, they won their fair share tonight, you know. And we got the guy, we're all over the guy a lot of times, and the guy outruns us or breaks the pocket. You know, I think that when we look at it, we're going to see a combination of things, right? We're going to see a lot of things that we can do better schematically. I think we're going to see things that we can do fundamentally better. And I think that we're going to be opportunities for guys to make plays. And it's going to be a combination of all those things. I do not think it's one thing or the other. I think it's a combination of all those things. And, you know, ultimately, the things that we can control, from a coaching perspective, the things that we can do better, we need to do those things better. So, but you know, I think that we're gonna be sick when we watch this tape. That's what I can tell you.
When they did the third quarter, fourth quarter Tom Petty thing, and then Anthony rips off an 81-yard touchdown run right after that, how exhilarating of a moment was that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't credit Anthony enough relative to kind of flipping the switch and being a great competitor. You know, you could see it in his eyes. I mean, he's wearing his heart on his sleeve. You know, Anthony's a guy that wants to do his absolute best for the team. You know, and that one play I think was a good example of that. But you know, to get it to 2 scores and then we get a stop, you know, we're going to be sick when we watch the tape. You know, and you know, I think ultimately we got to do more for our players, and I think that we're going to see a lot of opportunity when we watch the tape.
Amari Burney left the game pretty early. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, he was able to return in the game. You he got the breath knocked out of him. He had some, there was some blood in his mouth. Obviously, when that happens, they're going to be very thorough and cover all bases. So we took him, got everything, made sure he was cleared to play and healthy and all that. So it was just extensive work there to make sure that nothing major was wrong with the guy. He was able to return, though.
Coach, the clock management at the end of the second quarter, you kept a couple of timeouts in your pocket, particularly 2 minutes. What was your mindset there, you and the staff?
I think we got the ball back. I think it's twofold, right? They got two as well, right? So you're in a Mayday 2-minute situation, where there's a certain level of aggression that you're going to use based off of field position. We never really got into field position to where you needed to be aggressive. So, ultimately, I think they got two. Last thing you want to do is give them the ball back again, right? So I think it's a delicate situation there that, you try to help manage the players there.
And your thoughts on how the offensive line performed without Osiris tonight?
I thought for the most part, we blocked them pretty well. I don't know what the numbers look like, but, we had occasionally, we would have some leakage here or there, but, Richie Leonard played for the most part and did a good job in the game. I think they got some really good players on the edges. On third down in particular, we had some issues with their dime package, but overall that group played well. I think we'll be pleased with that when we go back and look at the tape.
Hey, Billy, I'm presuming the penalty on Javon was for the finish of the hit, not the start. Well, how do you coach that, and what are 6'7" dudes supposed to do?
Yeah. I think you're trying to get me here. I think there'll be some opportunity to teach there. It's a very it's a judgment call. It's bang, bang. The guy felt like it was unnecessary roughness on the quarterback, right? So we didn't get a replay of it. I wasn't able to see it, so it probably wouldn't be right for me to comment on it. And certainly, officiating wasn't an issue tonight. Wasn't the issue tonight. I mean, heck, I think they let them play tonight. That's what I would say, right? And that's what I always want them to do. Let them play, right? So we got a great crew, great people there. So there'll be some things there. We'll ask for feedback. When we get to the tape, we'll be able to coach them better based off the feedback, just like we do every week.
Billy, how would you evaluate kind of the state of the program right now relative to where you would want it to be at this point in the season?
Yeah, no, I want to win every single game that we play, right? We've lost a handful of games, right? So, I think that we're year one. We're in year one, right? And, I think the big thing that I would say is that we're working hard on the people, right? And I think we're making progress there. Working hard on expectations, culture, habit building. I think that the football execution part is where we need to improve, But in terms of competitive spirit, togetherness, discipline, I think that we're making progress in that part. I think that's a group that is very much a team. I think they've showed that. I think the intangible part, when you're building a foundation, I think that's where you start. And I think that we've done a lot of good in that area. Our football needs to get better, I would say that. So, and some of the, I think lots of things contribute to that, if that makes sense. But, there's no shortcuts here, right? There's no shortcuts, okay? You got to go right through every single bit of adversity. It ain't easy, right? It's not easy for the staff. It's not easy for the players, right? The key is that we take these experiences and we use them for the better, right? We create positive change, right? We adjust our approach. We have integrity and we say, you know what? I can do better for the team. I can coach better. I can play better. Every person's got a job to do. Everybody's got a role. These things are not easy, right? You know, I don't like to lose, okay? But if we waste it, okay, okay, then we're failing as leaders, right? And that's the key to the drill. We got to use this experience. We got to learn from it. We got to improve. We got to grow. There's a lot of young players in that locker room. More importantly, there's veteran players in that locker room that deserve our absolute best, right? Guys that are playing for their last time, right? So that's what I think about, doing my best for those guys. It's their last time.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Zach.
Billy, you said when you go back and look at the third down defense, you said you expect that it could be schematics, it could be a lot of different things, maybe personnel. How key is this bye week coming up to be able to address some of those things and fix those issues?
All parts of our team need to improve, right? And statistically, third down defense is not an area where, I mean, we're not very good, right? We've taken ownership of that. And I think it's a combination of everything. I think it's a combination of schematics. I think it's a combination of personnel. I think it's a combination of fundamentals, detail in our assignment, and then individual matchups. And you know, that's what's great about the game. It's a team game, right? I mean, tons of people contribute to each one of those. But I do believe that we got a group that, you know, takes ownership of what they can do better, right? Players and coaches. So I think we'll work hard to improve that for sure.
And then obviously you guys crafted this as kind of your big recruiting weekend. What do you think of the turnout? And obviously you guys have been doing really well on the trail. When you have a game like this, the atmosphere was great, but the result wasn't what you wanted, what's kind of the message there to those guys?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, making a decision to come to the University of Florida is more than a single event. That's what I would say, right? It's more than one football game. You know, I think you make a decision to come to the University of Florida for a lot more than just one event, right? And I think obviously all the players and their families that are here, you know, this is a special, unique place that has a lot to offer, right? And there's no question that was a great display of that, you know. The passion here, the history and the tradition here, the desire to get back where we all know Florida's capable of being, right? You know, I think it's been 14 years since Florida's won the SEC or the national championship, right? So we got work to do, right? And you know, I think that these young men in there, they can contribute to that effort and that cause. And this is a place that's going to have a long-term impact on who they are as a person, the degree they're going to receive as a student here, and certainly the caliber of football that we're going to play and the development process that we're going to have. So, again, like I said before, right, this is a process, and we got to make the necessary changes going forward.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you all.